For the girls to pick a topic. The guys obviously ruined the last one.
Not allowed to be Corona.
Oh my gosh.
Josh, you can't.
Way too close. Scoot your hand closer to your face.
Yeah, that's it right
Closer to your face. Your back.
Stop yelling.
there.
God.
There you go. Josh goes.
I go 90 and you go 10.
Josh, worst virtual high fiver ever.
Well, this is another episode of How Stupid People Succeed. I'm Josh. That guy right there is Jeremy. This is my wife, Amanda, and that is his wife, Brittany. And this is another episode, quarantine episode numero dos.
Do we want to talk about how we...
Stop, I'm talking. Stop, I'm talking.
Do not interrupt.
Make sure you like us on Facebook. Go to YouTube, click the little bell, subscribe to us. Make sure you leave us a comment, subscribe to us on Apple, iTunes, Spotify, iHeartRadio, all the fun stuff. Stitcher, I've heard, is a thing.
What?
So we can do this.
What's a
Stitcher.
Stitcher?
It's real. Apparently we're on there. I don't know what it is.
And now we need a TikTok, obviously.
We got to get a TikTok.
Yep, that'll be all you.
Yeah. We got to do the MC Hammer, Too Legit to Quit one. That
Yeah.
incorporates the Macarena.
I really like Kevin Hart's TikToks because literally all he does the entire time
Say TikTok.
is to say he's making a TikTok and then it's over.
You already make this
Like,
TikTok?
Everything he does is pretty fantastic.
That's funny. I agree with that.
So, Jeremy, you guys are in your living room. We are in our basement because we are more than 6 feet apart, but we can still do the virtual high fives, right? Ready?
Kitty has
Oh, that was a good one.
Better, Josh. Better.
You don't have to leave it though.
You
It's
only
weird.
like,
You like caress.
hey, put your face up against the wall.
Oh, I love it.
Oh.
Coronavirus.
Well, maybe you should sanitize your hands and wash once in a while. You're a filthy animal.
Ew.
Dude, I've been killing the hand sanitizer game
I saw
and the soap game.
you have. I saw it on Facebook.
I heard they're not the same.
It's not the same. Number one, please wash your hands. Sanitizer's like a standby.
She's a nurse.
You know, I thought about taking a shower this morning, but I just saw some hand sanitizer. No, obviously, yeah.
You feel the sanitizer in your mouth too?
I brush my teeth with hand sanitizer, yes. I'm that committed to the cause.
It's like Rafe when he washes or he brushes teeth with the A&D ointment.
The butt cream?
Yeah.
Sure did. I don't know how it was on the counter.
Yeah. Okay.
It was on
Okay.
the counter.
So it
It looks the same
Okay.
because it's blue.
So I have a little crate next to my sink in our bathroom, and in it, over the years I've accumulated some things. I had some A&D cream in there from when I was a caddy. When I was a caddy,
I don't think you need to specify
I'm
for
just
what
saying.
it was. It was just there.
I'm just saying.
Okay, it was there.
I had a rash problem, and
Bro.
he solved it. Well, I left it in there. It's a full tube, so he thought it was new. And then my wife just ran away. I'm sorry, but yeah, definitely thought it was toothpaste. And he came running and he couldn't get it out of the
So as a caddy,
gosh.
what are some of the maintenance needs like A&D ointment that you always want to have with you?
No, the only thing you really always want to have with you is Gold Bond. That's it. Gold Bond.
Powder?
Yeah.
Powder? For what?
For your
Like
shoes,
your
right?
shoes?
Stop it.
Blisters?
For your shoes?
Yeah, exactly, for my shoes.
Okay, got it.
You're such a great guy.
What's Evie? Just let Evie be in the episode.
She's the official mascot.
Evie is social. AF. She's ready to go. Nope. Wait, she wants to get down. Nope, she's a back up.
Oh, now you're getting a dirty look. She's like, is that Jeremy?
Yeah, that guy again. Evie does not like me.
She just gave him the stink eye.
So what are we talking about in this one?
Huh?
Nothing?
No, we're definitely talking about some things. So,
AD ointment helps me out quite a bit in my
you know,
time.
smart. You gotta be prepared for everything, just like in this quarantine. Gotta be prepared.
You said the keyword.
I'm gonna go get the baby.
Meet the baby. Amanda.
You have to drink every time we say quarantine. Coffee. I have coffee in my mug.
So,
I actually want to talk about quarantine.
say what? What'd you say?
Maybe now I actually want to talk about the quarantine. Oh,
Oh my gosh. I'm going to be up all night with this coffee.
Amanda, so when Josh got his most recent pair of golf clubs, why don't you tell the story of how you found out and what happened?
My most recent, I've only bought
this
2
was like
sets
a
ever.
year. This was like a year ago. Doesn't really matter because Jeremy apparently knows all of our
What was the
intimate
date, Jeremy?
details before
What was
I
the date?
do.
Statement, so he knows when it was purchased.
Well, Jeremy does do our taxes, so he might.
No, wait.
I do
Technically,
my own taxes.
yes.
Okay.
He'll
So,
ask questions and I'll answer them.
well, yeah, that is true.
For no monetary fee.
Oh my! It does. It's fine.
Yeah, it's true.
You guys are annoying in every way.
So
Just
tell
so
the
we're clear.
story.
I-
I love you.
It's a stupid story. We're at the gym, and Josh didn't tell me about a $2,000 set of golf clubs. And Jeremy says something to the effect of, "Hey, why don't you tell her about those golf clubs you had the other day, or you got the other day?" And in the middle of my lift, I threw my lift down. I left his butt at the gym, and I went home.
She did. She left me. She literally left me.
You're left forever.
Why are you
How
doing
about
three?
Huh?
Why were you doing three?
Oh, sorry. I was like that.
Are you Spock? What's happening?
Hunger Games.
Ousted Josh.
Yes.
Shocking.
Listen, it was, I mean, I was going to tell you.
No, you weren't. No, you weren't. Just like everything else, you just hide it until I find out.
Can I tell the real story now?
Yeah. Sure.
We're working out.
I
And
started.
obviously, I assumed that Josh had already informed his wife of, as she said earlier, a very expensive golf club purchase. And so as we're working out, I look over and go, "Hey, Josh,
How stupid people
have
say,
you,
just don't do it.
have
Just
you,
don't do it.
have you swung your new clubs yet?" And And Josh was standing between me and then Amanda was behind Josh. And when I said that, Josh is looking at me, Amanda's behind him, and Josh is going, and Amanda literally just goes,
Is that when you started to be afraid? Very, very afraid.
and Josh looks at me and goes, "What are you talking about?"
I don't remember any of that.
For a guy.
Better to leave than to stay.
Yeah. And then I was like, "Oh, yeah, when are you going to hit new golf clubs ever, dude?"
I do remember your face. You were petrified. It was like a face of, "I'm going to die," or "Josh is going to die," one of the two.
I was definitely worried more for Josh. I was like, I didn't understand. And I'm like, because he had him for literally, I didn't think like 3-4 days. So it had to be last like late spring, early summer, because it was warm enough that he could have swung them. So I'm like, "Dude, did you swing your new clubs yet?" Josh panics. Amanda gets mad. She leaves just like that, leaves Josh at the gym. I have to give Josh a ride home from the gym. Oh, it's freaking awesome.
Oh,
But anyway,
Amanda's my spirit animal.
Well, you know.
did she ever pull off any closet purchases like that to you?
No, what Josh does, I did not. What Josh does though, like he'll have things at home he'll put on, and it's clearly new. I'll be like, "Oh, is that new?" He's like, "Oh no, I've had this." So now I've learned it's like, how many days have you had this? Is it like a week? Is it like 3 days? Like I know everything that you've ever bought. I've known you for 15 years. I know what you buy that's new and not new.
Yeah, listen, he does the same thing.
18 years.
18 long years.
No, it's not.
Since 2003?
17
17 years.
Whoa. Good math skills. Brittany's lying. I tell her as I'm shopping for
No,
everything.
no. Mm-mm.
He just omits. That's
No.
it.
The big things he might like watches, shoes, like the Supreme releases, but he'll come home in like a new workout outfit. I'll be like, huh, I've never seen those shorts before. Oh yeah, I just got them.
And it's not like they're like they don't buy them off of like a resale site or
No. Mm-mm.
it's like $100 a short. Each leg is $100. What is that? Why are you showing me your shoe?
Just a hint.
Pretty sure the shorts he has on now are like $75.
Seriously.
And everywhere.
No, I don't believe that.
All these are lies. Fake news.
None of them.
Fake
None
news.
of it.
Now I know how Donald Trump feels, and it's terrible. Fake news.
So we've been friends for quite a while, the four of us. We have a lot of really good. We have some good stories. We've got to do a lot of cool things together, right?
Yeah.
Most currently that we're trying to figure out for this year, obviously with the quarantine, we're trying to figure out. We own a boat together,
Yeah.
and we go to. Am I allowed to say this?
Yeah, well, I mean,
And we share season tickets.
might as well. Yes. There's a bill that sells season tickets.
The tickets to the Cleveland Browns.
Stop. So those are a couple cool things that we get to do together.
We're canceling them, Jeremy. We're canceling them.
Mainly, Jeremy and I go to the Browns games.
Hence, we're canceling them.
That's
It's
a
like
sore
an
subject.
assigned date. They literally get to spend time together every week. And I pay for it. That's not fair.
I bet
Did it agree? I
yeah.
feel like we're going to get a lot of likes on that one right now.
High five me.
Oh.
Nope.
Oh. Oh my God. Awesome.
Can I share my side? Well, what were you saying though? What was
No,
the
you
point
don't
of that,
get a
Josh?
side. There's no side. It's
But Josh was getting to something.
no.
Your
No,
dates are over.
I was just sharing how we get to do things together.
Mm.
And we've had a lot of really cool stories.
I'm cutting you off.
Like one time we ran into Ernest Biner. That was pretty cool.
That was awesome. We met Ernest Biner. That was sweet.
That was pretty cool.
How many people know who that is?
Everybody,
What matters.
everyone,
Great.
literally every soul.
2 words. The fumble.
Wow. What about the drive?
If you want to know him, what?
Nothing.
The drive came after the fumble.
I know. Hey, did you see the that they're trying to unveil a new logo for the Browns, or they're going to make the elf the official logo?
Yay! We're still canceling.
The elf is garbage. OBJ's girlfriend on Instagram today was dancing with a different style Browns helmet. So I think she leaked at least the helmet. Which
Really?
they went back to the gray face mask.
Ooh, I like that.
Oh,
Oh, I didn't know OBJ had a girlfriend.
I'm very thankful he has a girlfriend.
I'm sure he has more than a girlfriend.
By the way, I spoke to our season ticket rep, and tickets are non-transferable, so we cannot transfer them to your name. I'm sorry.
Can you cancel them? I felt like that was my first question.
Baby steps, babe. Baby steps.
Stefanski.
I think this is the year, Amanda. I think,
Here, you are a true Browns fan.
listen to me. It's my turn. My box is green.
Brittany's box is green. It means go.
It costs money.
I feel like we've put in enough time and investment, Amanda, that we
Fully aware.
are. We need to we should have something that's.
Do we get season tickets to something?
You guys have a boat.
Come again?
I'm sorry. When do we get to go to the boat without either of you?
It's up to
Okay.
It didn't work out.
You did. You tried.
And all I'm saying.
Oh, stop. Here we go. Oh.
Tried is the operative word.
Anyway, so what season tickets should we hold?
the boat. Here, tell you what, you guys pay for Jim Beach,
This is
Marina.
the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
That's a
Stop
fair
it.
trade.
I want something where I promise that I'm gonna take my family and then I'm just gonna go with Brittany.
Rafe went.
High five.
Anchor's gonna go this year. Oh my gosh.
Gosh.
Oh
That's-
my gosh.
That's on video.
You don't let them have the green box. Go. Shh. Don't green box.
The whole screen's recorded. It doesn't matter.
Fuck with the eye.
You're gonna have a black eye tomorrow.
Well, that might work for me. So where are my season tickets at?
Show me the tickets.
Although Amanda gets her payback in 2 letters, LV.
So where's
Payback. That was stupid, Jeremy. You're stupid.
What? No, it is.
People sometimes succeed.
There's no answer.
Josh is like, oh, I need to make Amanda happy. I know where to go and what to get.
Yeah. My love language is gifts.
I know my wife, Jeremy.
Duh.
I know my
And I'm applauding you for that, and that's why we get to go to Browns games.
wife.
I think you're confused.
You definitely missed the point.
And, so Brittany knows your love language. You have no idea what's happening on the other side. Is that what I'm hearing? Because she doesn't have one, and she's.
She doesn't
asked
have a
for
love
one.
language?
No, she has a love language.
She has a love language.
Yeah, what is it?
It's French. And then next week it's Spanish. It changes. Whatever love language I just did is the wrong love language for the next one that she needs.
Those aren't love languages. So you're not even in the same book, which really makes a lot of sense. I mean, let's be honest.
So
Yeah.
wait, I didn't write Amanda's. What's mine? What's my exchange?
What's your love language?
Wait, I didn't get one this year or the year before.
That's true.
Yeah, the year before you did. Evie, when Evie was born.
Okay, good point. What do you share everything?
I know everything. What? What'd you say?
My 7-year-old just came in and said,
Wrap it up. Your love language is words of affirmation. And QT. Sub-QT.
Look at her face.
Look
Does
at her
that look
face.
affirming to
Dude,
you?
you're so good at reading people, but you can't read your wife? What is wrong with
That's
you?
because he's not good at reading people.
He's not.
Oh my gosh.
A manual helps. Just give him a manual.
Sorry, I didn't do the
It
personality.
has to have like pictures, no words.
Flashcards.
Pictures.
What is it then? What is it? What's the, I forget. What is it? Because mine's not gifts. It used to be. Can't anymore.
That's because you buy your own gifts for yourself. You love yourself.
You can afford them now. When we took the test, you could not.
You can make all the faces that you want to.
Anybody else want to get a shot at? Comment below. Take a shot at Jeremy.
I think your dad will. Your
Oh.
dad.
Oh, that's accurate.
Your dad's gonna appreciate this post.
Yeah. You're welcome, Mark.
We got it covered. Don't worry.
Oh, you have no idea what you guys are doing to me right now.
Yeah, we do. I mean, it's calculated. You're confused again.
In the process of trying to discover love languages, apparently we discovered what your 3 hate languages, and that's picking on Jeremy. So regardless,
It's
But-
easy. It's easy.
But you have to hate something to love it.
that's false. Have you looked at the comments? Nobody agrees with you and Mike. You're both insane.
These are
I
also
agree with Mike because he's
these
huge
are also
and he's funny.
Browns fans that apparently we're speaking to. So do they really know what love is?
Yes, we hate them, but we love them.
Listen,
Their love is a
NFL,
little misguided.
NFL bargaining agreement, 14 teams in the playoffs. The Browns now have a better shot at being in the playoffs. It only takes 1 home playoff game for all of the money to come back to those tickets, just so you know. So that's what we got to, that's what we're holding out for. We believe.
Ugh. I'm believing myself into a grave, financial grave.
Please don't do that.
What? Don't what? That's dark. Don't go there. Terrible.
He did.
Well, don't. Josh and I. What Josh and I are already figured out the alternatives to make everything
For
work.
itself, I've heard all about it. I get it. Nice scheme. I'm done.
I haven't heard it. What's this? What is it? What's the plan?
Well, basically, so we started out sharing 4 seats 3 years ago. So we just finished our 3rd season. Yeah, 0-16, 7-8-1, and then 6-10. And what we said is we're gonna go down to 2 seats,
I don't care.
not go to as many games to kind of offset the whole situation.
I'm gonna be 100% honest with you. You ain't going anywhere.
What do you mean?
We're
The
done.
coronavirus.
Tickets.
Coronavirus.
That's true. How are you gonna corona yourself through the football games?
Corona's gonna be life will go back to normal. Let's say June, July. Then we go to Browns game.
In Cleveland?
Yeah.
That's probably not true.
Cuyahoga County.
Not to pick on anybody, but I mean the lake caught on fire. Like the lure of Cleveland is well known. So it'll be fine. We'll be there in September. It'll be awesome. God bless America.
What did you want to talk about?
I'm just along for the ride, apparently.
What's the worst purchase I've ever made that made you upset, like Josh with the golf club?
I was a child. I'm sorry, what?
Did you say I was a child?
Well, I didn't say that, but now that we're on that topic, I'm sorry, what?
You keep saying I'm sorry, what?
Sorry, what?
I'm
Come
sorry.
again?
I'm sorry, huh?
Hey, baby. What is your worst purchase? Maybe just worst action. No, let's take that back.
No, we don't have enough time for that.
Yeah.
My action?
No.
No.
My worst purchase.
I wouldn't say so. Like, it's difficult.
It's difficult to say.
I probably just watches in general are probably because they're the most expensive.
Hey, Britt, what's the last thing that Jeremy bought you?
Strawberries, chocolate covered strawberries on Valentine's Day.
Oh, snap. That's not bad. You and I got for Valentine's Day?
A baby.
I'm sorry, Valentine's Day happened? Did we do that?
Oh, look at that baby.
A baby? He's
Distract,
a year and a half old.
distract everybody with that baby.
Valentine's Day was 2 months ago.
That cute baby.
Josh thinks that anytime that I'm pregnant or have had a baby, that it is the present.
Well, when you're from Portsmouth, that's naturally how it goes.
And that's why I got a really nice fat gift on our 10-year anniversary.
Hey, I'm from Portsmouth. I gave you a baby.
Thanks, Louie. Louie gave me a gift.
Yes, Louis gave you a gift.
Well, yeah, he did.
Is that it, Josh? You fizzled out, bud. You okay? You all right?
Yeah. I'm wrangling the baby.
Michael Jackson, your baby.
Our baby has a mullet.
So, some of the topics that we talk about behind the scenes are like how Josh is very much Brittany. This is just a relationship in general of our friendships. Josh is Brittany and Jeremy is me, which I, in the grand scheme of things, don't love the comparison, but it's there. It's true. There's some truth to that.
Yep.
Brittany, how do you
I'm just waiting.
quantify, like when I say that, like what do you think about that? Like how does that make you feel when it comes to that comparison?
No, you're compared to that guy. Woo! Hit it high.
Know some things. Go ahead.
Oh, you gotta go.
Baby down.
Oh, it's okay.
Baby down.
I'm up. She's cool.
You cool?
She's cool.
No more.
She's
Holy smokes.
I mean, she's crying. But she's
Yeah.
a baby.
I don't hear you crying.
You can't hear her crying?
Is that Evie?
Yeah, this is a lull in our podcast right now. my co-host left.
You know how many people right now are probably watching this just being like, oh, thank God, at least their life
It's
is as insane as mine is right now.
That's accurate. I think people just want to see normalcy.
Yeah.
They want to see what normal people are dealing with.
Definitely normal.
Completely normal.
Yeah.
The fact that Anchor hasn't walked in here wondering where I'm at this point is a miracle.
It's probably because he's in the kitchen eating Oreos or something.
That's probably accurate too.
Oreos sound good.
What?
We can't have cookies in the house because I will eat them all.
What do you think about my answer?
Prove it.
Prove it.
I will literally eat them all.
How do you feel about being compared to Josh?
Mm-mm. No, I think our question was more how do I like process that?
I don't even know what you just said. That doesn't even make sense.
I think honestly, I mean, I have a very clear answer to the question. I think listening and watching the two of you interact helps me.
Me and her or me and him?
You and Jeremy.
Okay.
Is that
Abby,
a microphone?
Abby, crying's not good for the podcast. Okay.
You just not like seeing Jeremy? Oh,
Look,
Abby
she
hates
stopped
me.
crying in a second since she left the camera.
You want a marker?
Josh, you're such a great dad. Nailed it again.
She does. Thank you. You want me to talk on this the rest of the time?
Abby, that's great for the wall. Walk right over there.
Draw on that wall, girl.
Just draw.
No.
we already have one that does that. We don't need another one.
Okay, go ahead.
So I think, honestly, hearing Jeremy process with Josh or about Josh has helped me understand how to communicate to him to understand me.
Ooh.
So I think like if we're
Deep.
comparing the fact that Josh and I are very similar personalities, hearing the way that Jeremy and Josh interact, seeing the way they interact, but also like side conversations about things has truly helped me understand how to help him communicate better with me in a kind of a weird but good way.
Mhm.
I think, because I think naturally in marriages, there are some freedoms that you have that you may not always have with friendships. Maybe guys are different, but I think with girls, we don't take as many liberties to be as open as guys do. I think just because the emotional part is there and we don't want to hurt each other's feelings or, you know, create drama. But I think that like seeing the way the two of you interact.
I feel like
Yeah.
I did something wrong.
What?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. But I think for me, I don't know, just like seeing the way the two of you interact and the way that you process your friendship and comparing the two personalities has helped me understand what that looks like for me.
Mm.
How to communicate it, how to process it. And honestly, like it's helped me learn a little bit about Jeremy in all of this too, in a kind of a weird way.
If Jeremy was.
Weird way.
Mm-hmm.
You lost Josh. Sorry. You talked for more than 30 seconds.
That's because Josh is. We're talking about feelings, so Josh is out.
I have to run away. They're talking about feelings.
I'm in a glass case of emotion.
Movie, Jeremy.
What?
What movie is that from?
Oh, Anchorman. Stop. Josh, how do you feel?
So girls don't typically talk.
compared to my wife?
like, I feel like that's not true, right? I mean,
What's not true?
girls being honest with each other, like telling you how it is. I feel like that's true.
I think it's harder. It takes more time to get to that point.
It's true. So honestly, like I've talked to Jeremy about this a lot. I think that like for you and I, we have a lot more investment with each other. We have a lot more like we've had a lot more real moments that I think that there's a safety there that we've created. But I think for women in general, and like I'll just what?
Josh is being so creepy. It's the creepiest thing ever. Just walk away.
All right, well, Sarah and I will just talk, or Amanda and I will just talk. I was going to talk about Sarah. So last summer, I feel like Sarah and I had this like enlightening moment where we kind of had to come to a place where it was like I was vulnerable, she was vulnerable, and then it created that like, okay, so now we can be vulnerable together. But before that, it was not there. And I think, Amanda, you might be a little bit, your personality might be a little bit different to where you're a little bit more of like an open book than, so in our circle of friends, I think than Sarah and I specifically. So like we always had this level field of like, oh, everything's fine. Yeah, I'm great. How are you? Oh, everything's great. My kitchen's all spotless and everything's fine. But then like, it took me going over to her house one time and it being dirty, or her seeing dishes in my sink, to be like, you're normal. Oh my gosh. Okay. And then it just like broke down walls to then talk about everything else that we may not have normally said, like, my kids are off the wall today. Oh my gosh, so are mine. But like, we kept this level of, you know, like, yeah, everything's great, everything's cool. But then when we both added that level of transparency, then I think that it allowed a lot more depth to the relationship in a sense. So I think that, and maybe it's, I don't know, maybe it goes to that like letting walls down or guards down, you know, like when that was broken down, then you were able to say like, hey, you know what? Hey, I'm not okay today. So can we talk about this? But that's not in our nature normally as women, like collectively, stereotypically, I would say.
Men aren't that way though either. I think men are.
No,
that's
because
true
it's an
of
emotional,
both people.
but you don't, that's an emotional thing.
I think the unique point in the way that like, I'll just speak for myself. In the way that I forge relationships is I go for that from jump. And I guess I don't give people an allowance to delay that.
Yeah.
So it's like either you're going to play or you're going to sit on the sideline.
Yeah.
So if you're going to sit on the sideline and give me the comfortable answer of this is the way life is,
Yeah.
yay, because I don't trust you yet, and I go in full bore like, nobody's
Yeah.
perfect, don't hide your crap. Let's be transparent right now. And so I probably steamboat, tugboat, whatever, through that a little bit faster.
I just think stereotypically women are not like that.
Men aren't either. That's definitely true of men, even more so than women, if you think about the narrative of stereotypes.
What do you mean?
No.
Like you could have men that have relationships for years and never really have a true emotional, legit, get through life conversation.
Really? How do you have, like, there's not enough time in the day or emotion for that kind of relationship? Like, if I can't come in and tell you how I feel, or, I mean, not that, like, people should bear your feelings, but if you can't have a real conversation about who you are, I just have energy for that. At all. Like, look what we're dealing with just trying to have a 15-minute conversation. Like, I don't have enough energy to have a friendship with someone that isn't going to give me the real them. And we're going to spend 15, 20 minutes on bull crap before we ever hit the real stuff. Who has time for that? I don't have the patience for that. I don't even want to get involved with that. I mean, I know relationships take time initially, like all of that stuff's fine. You want to see where you are at with those people. But, you know, if we're sustaining relationships, I don't care about if your kitchen's dirty or your kids sucked. I mean, kids suck if you think that you're gonna walk through a day of not being mad at your kids or this crap happening behind you, like you're out of your mind. And if you act like it's perfect, you're denying something entirely.
That for me, like that's one thing that you personally have helped me with is that I don't know like what word it is. I don't know if it's vulnerability, if it's transparency, if it's just open and honesty. I don't know, but I think that you definitely have encouraged that part in me of I'm gonna love you no matter what. And I think that for me, so there was like a level of judgment that came with those things not being in order. And you obviously after being around for how long now? Since 2009, so 11 years. And like I feel like being closer to you now than I ever have been, to me that has encouraged my like my openness into letting my guard down to people seeing my mess, because that's not something I was never good at that. Like I was never good at letting people see my house being messy or like my kids being out of order. I don't know. That was just something that I think for me, that was just a part of the nature of things. But I think that for me personally, like you've brought that out in me in the way of saying like, I'm going to be around no matter what. I don't care what things look like, because this is just the way that it is. And this is what it looks like to let people in and to completely like open up to that. And I think that for me, that has really opened up that part of the friendship side in a depth way. Like, because I think for me, like it's very easy to be very surface level in friends. And like, I mean, I'll meet the bagger at Kroger and be like, yeah, we're friends now. Like, this is the way it is. But I think that the definition of friendship has been redefined, or maybe refined a little bit in especially the way that with you and I and with Sarah and Julie specifically. I think that over the years that we've kind of dug into, there's a difference between like, sure, let's hang out once a week and we'll be cool, to like, now you're coming in and there are dishes in my sink. This is a whole new level of friendship for me. That was the depth of it. Like that was a very deep part of, if you see that my house is messy, now you're seeing a deeper part of like my daily life. And I think that maybe people express that in a different way, but that for me was like, those things were a big deal to me. And I remember specifically, conversations that you and I have had about certain things. But I think too, sitting on the edge of the pool with Sarah last summer too, it was like we were talking about our kids, and I was supposed to go down and swim that day. And she was like, yeah, I don't think this is going to happen. My kids are a disaster. And I was like, who cares? Mine are a disaster too. Let's get them together and let's hang out. And when I got there, she looked at me like, okay, wait a minute. Your kids were a mess? Like, I didn't think your kids were ever a mess. And I was like, Sarah, that's because I never let you feel like my kids were a mess. That was my problem. But I think for me, like that was it was a freeing moment to just kind of say like, yeah, it gets messy and it's, whatever. But I think the fact that you're still here and me seeing that friendship is still around, it was helpful for me. It was a I don't know, a freeing or enlightening experience, I guess.
That was deep. That was really deep.
Yeah, that was really deep.
Well, I have perspectives on that, which could take a while, which I won't go into necessarily, but I think most of my life I wanted acceptance. And no matter how clean my kitchen was necessarily or how clean my house was, I never really had that. So I kind of went to the other end of screw it. And so there had to be like a happy medium eventually of growing up to say like, I'm here. I want to be friends. I'm going to provide you with what I have. And I would kill somebody for my friends, but I don't want to waste my time with people who don't want to give me more than their clean house. I want to see your dirty dishes, and that's not a comparison thing. Like I want to know that people are messy like I am, but I just want to be real with people. That's really it. And if you're perfect, that's great. If you're not, that's okay. Like I just want the realness of that and the depth of a relationship, because I just want depth versus just superficials. I'd rather have one really good friend than 10 clean dishes friends.
That's how I won you over.
Why? You just kept calling. It's true. Did I ever tell you guys a story? So I was in high school when Josh was when we were started dating. I was in high school.
Was it Abercrombie? Is that the Abercrombie days?
I know what you're
The baby's crying.
talking about.
You made her cry.
Just because Jeremy was talking. So,
All right, Jeremy, you gotta take us out. See ya. You gotta take us out. Good luck.
yeah, I guess it's time for bed. So anyway, before we go. So I was in high school. Josh was in college while we started dating. And he sent flowers to my school, my high school. I was in trouble a lot my senior year. And so I got called into the principal's office, and so they announced it over the loudspeaker, which was even better, and called me into the office, and I assumed I was in trouble. So I went in, and there's this giant bouquet of flowers for me, and the office manager, whatever you want to call it, was literally horrified because they were for me, I think, more than anything. And it was from like a guy. He had them sent to the school. I mean, it was sweet, but it was kind of weird.
It was a little pervy, a little weird.
It kind of was. I remember like bringing him to the lunch table, and my one friend from high school, I was like, I'm not sure how this is going. I think we're done after this. And she was like, oh, please don't dump him. And then that was it.
So that sealed the deal, huh? That was it.
Yeah, I won't. That's probably not a great move.
All right, we're gonna take this thing out. This is how People Succeed. This is Britt.
Yeah.
I'm Jeremy. That empty seat is where Josh was, but he's taking care of Evie. That's Amanda. Yeah, high five. Okay, you guys high five. Go out on high five. Boom.
Yes,
there it
you
is.
nailed it.
Hopefully we get out of this quarantine. Hopefully everybody's happy, healthy, and doing the things they can do so we can get out of this as fast as possible.
Yeah.
And we can be humans again, because right now this feels a little weird. So,
Weird.
yeah. Love you. Praying for you. HSPS.